Hello and welcome to today's forecast. Today is August 27th, 2026, and today is Thursday, and we have a lot to talk about today, especially the thunderstorms and flash flooding. So, first of all, this morning, we have widespread upper 60s to a few low 70s, and dew points definitely rose last night. We have some low 60s as dew points in our northern areas, and to our southern areas we have some higher 60s, and I expect those to rise over the next few hours due to that warm front lifting north, and it's just gonna skyrocket those dew points, and it's just gonna feel muggy outside. But right now this morning, if you're not in the rain, it feels pretty nice. It's a pretty beautiful morning, but after that warm front lifts, it's just going to feel oppressive, and then you'll have thunderstorms to deal with later in the day. So, on our radar this morning, we have a lot of showers, a few rumbles of thunder, and some of these are dropping some heavy rain, and if any of these train or go in the same place a bunch of times, then we could be dealing with a few flash flood warnings this morning. So, this is not the main event for severe thunderstorms, although there could be a few, but the main event is going to be for later this afternoon for the damaging wind gusts, tornadoes, and some hail. But this morning, if we want to get those severe thunderstorms, then we need all this to clear out, and you can see that this line kind of goes all the way back to near Baltimore. So if any of these weaken, or if this complex kind of weakens and we get rid of all the cloud cover, then I think we're good. But if these showers and storms stick around, then the severe risk will be kind of lower than expected. But we'll have to see this. If this doesn't go out of the way by midday today, then I'd say that the severe risk is not lower as expected, but we'll see what happens. For my forecast today, the highs are going to be in the mid to a few upper 80s, and humidity is going to return, and severe thunderstorms are going to become possible across all of the area. And like I said, a few showers are going to be possible early in the morning, especially in our southeastern areas, and also those have a chance to limit the severity of the storms later on. The storms today look to arrive around after 5 p.m., and the main hazards are going to be damaging winds, flash flooding. There's also a hail risk, and I wouldn't even rule out a tornado or two. I'll let you guys know if that risk increases later today. And then looking ahead, humidity looks to stick around for a while now, and a heat wave is looking likely next week, which could bring temperatures into the hundreds. I'll talk about that later in the video. So, to time this all out for you guys, the HRRR kind of gets that convection out of the way pretty quickly and allows us to get some daytime heating, and then the storms fire up really close to Chester County, Lancaster border, even on that. But that slight risk extends all the way into parts of central PA, kind of close to the Susquehanna River, so we'll see what happens, but this model is not enthusiastic for folks west of our region. So those storms look to fire up on around 4 to 5 p.m. on this model for our region, and then, yeah, I would definitely watch for some flash flooding with these. These look like they're going to be really slow moving, according to this model run, and stick around for a while, and then rain looks to be done by tomorrow morning. I think all of it's going to be out of there by tomorrow morning. And we'll be still left with some humidity, but it's not going to be raining. Then as we take a look at tomorrow, the HRRR is kind of hinting at maybe a few storms popping up tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised, because there's still going to be a lot of humidity, and this looks like marginal risk could be issued if it trends out this way. The marginal risk is down to the south of us. I think it's near Washington, D.C., but I would definitely watch this. These look a little bit more scattered than today, but we'll see how the models handle this today. Then for your temperatures today, like I said, temperatures are going to be getting into the 80s, and yeah, those storms are going to bring down those temperatures, not the humidity though. And then tomorrow morning, some upper 60s and low 70s across our region. It's not really going to be, the temperatures aren't really going to be going down that much. And then as we head into tomorrow, pretty much the same deal. We'll have some lower 80s to a few upper 80s, and those storms will bring the temperatures down once again. So as we take a look at the longer range, we can see that storm moves out, and we're left with a few showers over the weekend. Nothing too crazy though, and then, yeah, the heat starts to build later next week. But the Euro model does hint at a few storm systems coming through, so I wouldn't say we're out of the clear yet, but it's definitely something to watch, because I think this heat wave is starting to look a little likely, especially as we head into next weekend, in the Labor Day weekend, and maybe after that. I mean, we'll see what happens. This is the end of the model run, and then Euro even hints at some tropical development. I'll leave that later in the video. So I'm starting this off around this weekend, and temperatures are going to be a little comfortable aside from the humidity, but then as we head into next week, we can see that heat building to our south and west, and even have some 80s popping up, or some upper 80s popping up close to us, and that heat keeps building, and then by Monday we could be looking at a few 90s. And yeah, as we keep on going, we can see more 90s are popping up on this model run this Tuesday and then Wednesday, and you can see there's no relief. This is 2 a.m., this is 8 a.m., so the temperature's not getting below 75. I mean, that's just miserable if this model run is true. And temps do look to cool off on this model run though, and because the European model is picking up on some thunderstorms moving around the Ring of Fire and impacting us. But we'll see what happens, and then later on we're still kind of comfortable, but that heat starts to creep back to the north on this model run, and I mean, this is just unbelievable. If this happened, I would be pissed. 107. Now, this is really far out, but I think it's still something to watch, because that ridge is going to be building here, and I hope it doesn't. I hope this doesn't happen. Let's do a little update on the tropics. So the National Hurricane Center is kind of going back and forth with the storm. Yesterday, it went down to a 60% chance of developing, and everyone thought they lost confidence in it. It's not going to develop. But this morning, they bumped it back up to 70%, and I wouldn't say I'm too confused why, but it's kind of weird. But there is definitely going to be a break in the wind shear in some parts of the track, but there's still the dry air, and I mean, this thing is going to be going through really tough environment, and I would be pretty surprised if it does develop. And a lot of the model runs this morning aren't really showing anything, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. So this is the latest Euro model. It has that storm kind of holding steady, and then it kind of just gets destroyed immediately once it gets a little closer to the Caribbean. And yeah, after that we get another tropical wave, and we'll see if that develops. This is pretty far out. This is September 11th. We'll see what happens. And then the GFS also tears this thing apart, and it has a second tropical wave develop, or it has a second tropical wave come off of Africa, but that doesn't develop, and it kind of has a nor'easter up there, but we'll just ignore that for now. So that's going to be all for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.